Okay, so I'm going to start with a shot of the family coin collection. We got monies from all over the world. Can't spend most of them in Portland, but I like coin collecting. So using nickels, you can show the 6 around 1 pattern, the hexagon. You got the whole tiling and planar thing, and then you can move up into volume or space with the 4D, 3D, whatever, the ping pong balls. Now, as soon as I show money, people go, well, you can't really use money because kids will just walk off with the money and the ping pong balls for that matter. Depending on you know, maybe there is no money in this economy hardly, and money's valuable. So same with ping pong balls. And I'm saying I'm of that school of thought that actually schools should be a place where we disperse these kind of supplies to the homes. Kids do get to take the coins and the ping pong balls home uh, in exchange for doing the work. They jump through hoops, they learn stuff, and they're rewarded. It's the same kind of quid pro quo we have in the adult world or the job world where you're compensated for your services, so to speak. Here in school, it's not enough to live on, let's say, at least in the early grades, but it's the same general idea that you get worthwhile stuff for having participated in school. Now, here we've got the internet, luckily, and we get the benefit of Sloan's online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences. Wonderful, wonderful resource. And I've just been putting in the sequence of cuboctahedral numbers, and I'm looking at, there's mentions of Bucky, Coxeter, and these days I'm lucky enough to be in the links, which is, I'm very pleased about that, to be in the company of these other guys. And so off to my website, and this is Bucky's story that I'm telling here a little bit. He was about to become famous because he was in sort of a scientific, he's going to have a breakthrough because of certain discoveries in virology that linked the cuboctahedral numbers that he'd been investigating with the viral sheath, the capsimeres they're in. And there was one article in the Herald Tribune or something, but then, Bucky kind of, the discussion veered off away from him and sort of kept his studies sort of out of the limelight for another generation, really. Buckyballs came along. It was nice that they were named that, but, the actual content of Bucky's thinking hasn't really been explored now for a long time. 75 to 2005 is 30 years, and schools don't touch it, even though and yet it's elementary school level, a lot of it. So anyway, back to the volumes thing is where I'm at here, showing how the fivefold zoo is incorporated into the so-called concentric hierarchy, which is this nice table of that table actually synthesizes a lot of information about relative volumes in an arrangement of polyhedra, kind of a Kyoto garden or something. I think of it. It's sculpted. It's very, aesthetically a very pleasing thing to share. So I advocate doing it more and then taking it back into the field to crystallography, to virology. Here it's crystallography, helping to understand, whatever walk of life now you're going to choose. Having gone through like a good public school system, you have all these sort of generic concepts pretty well burned in. You've been served by your educational system. And that includes some computer programming in this day and age, at least in my neck of the woods. You really need to have some of those skills to move ahead and, get good jobs, and it just really helps if you can program. So what we do in math class is take the sphere packing discussion and the polyhedron discussion and link it up with Python, actually, which is a free open source language. You'll find it's very consistent. The design is quite nice. It's by a man named Guido from the Netherlands, and a community of fans has arisen around this language and has in turn helped to improve the language. And I use that language, Python, with an add-on library called VPython to do these what I call hypertunes, which I have quite a few clips about. And this is where we get more to the sort of just the blissing out on the cartoons aspect of this stuff. You don't always have to be staring at a page of symbols, and that's sort of the lexical, or the left brain is how some people think of it, and the right brain is what you're looking at here. You know, it's more um, kind of just floating, and you don't want either one or the other to be the totally dominant influence. So we like the hypertoons and the cartoons and the all kinds of screensavery kind of stuff. And we need to keep sort of going back to the books and doing the algebra and writing the code. The code is not just going to be um, right brain, I don't think. We're going to still need to type and have those kind of skills. Anyway, that's in a nutshell how I would go through this material, starting with the coins, school as a place to get stuff as well as learn stuff, and then right through volumes to the cartoon kind of animated presentation.